Welcome to AccuQuilt Live. I'm Erica Botker, AccuQuilt's corporate marketing specialist, and I'm not Pam. I know, you were expecting to see Pam here today, but she's gone on vacation, hopefully someplace sunny and warm with sand and a tropical beverage in her hand, so I am filling in for her today. Now, tomorrow is National Cat Day, but we've decided to celebrate it today, and we're excited to see pictures of your furry friends. So we hope you'll send us pictures of your little fur babies so that we can share them with everybody. Now we've got Christina with us today. She is in charge more than ever because you never know what I might say. She is here. How are you today, Miss Christina?
I'm very good. How are you?
Very good.
Good. We're excited to have you here.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. I have a confession though.
Okay.
I'm allergic to cats.
Oh no.
I used to have a cat, Chris. You are too, Chelsea? Okay, so Chelsea Graphics is too. I had a cat forever. My cat lived to be 18 years old.
Oh my
He
goodness.
came to us and adopted us when he was 2. And once I didn't have a cat around me, then I developed cat allergies.
Oh no.
But we have today to share a picture of Pam's cat, and Pam's cat's name is Pearl. Isn't she adorable?
Sweet
oh my
Pearl.
gosh. She's actually, I say she's Pam's cat, but I think she's actually really Mason's cat.
Oh, okay.
They went to the shelter, she's a rescue, to pick her out, and Mason stood in the middle of the room, and Pearl came out of the corner and came and sat on his feet.
Oh.
So that's how Pearl came to live
Meant
with
to be.
Pam. Now, Miss Christina, do we have a picture of your cat? Because
We do.
I adore your cat.
We do. We've got a picture of little Oscar.
I love this picture.
So Oscar was found in my boyfriend's work's dumpster back a few years ago and was kind of a grouch. So we decided on Oscar, and he's kind of fit that name ever since.
He's like a little furry toddler.
Yeah,
standing
we
there
don't
on his
know.
back leg.
We don't know why he does this, or there's never really prompted, but he just stands up sometimes.
I so love that. I so love that. Thank you for sharing. Well, the question of the day is, how did your furry friend come to be a part of your family? So hopefully you will share your little stories there. We want to know all about your furry kitty friends today. Okay, so today, in honor of cats, we are going to make this adorable lap quilt. We've got it hanging back here. It's called Laura's Kitty Quilt. So how appropriate is that, right? We're going to use our Go 12-inch cube, mix and match, and our Go Calico Cat die. So that's what we're going to need for that. And I've got a story later on. I'll tell you why it's Laura's kitty quilt, not just Erica's kitty quilt or Pam's kitty quilt. So we've got a promo for you today too, because Pam said we had to have a promo. And today's promo is perfect. It's 28% off. That's on Go Cutters, Go Cubes, and Go Dies through midnight Central Time. And you have to use the code. And the code is not Pam said, but it is Cat Day. So C-A-T-D-A-Y. So there are some exclusions. Of course, our new dies, our cube replacement dies, and our overstock dies are going to be excluded from that. But that is a great promo. So take advantage of it.
You can get things like starter sets. You can get, gosh, like you said, cubes.
You can get a go big.
You can get a
if
go
you've been
big.
wanting to go big.
28% off.
28% off.
We're crazy.
You need it to make your holiday projects. You know you do. Okay. So we also are going to give something away. Pam left strict instructions. Give something away. So we are going to give away a Go Calico Cat die today. But as Pam always tells you, what happens if you don't have a mat?
Not a darn thing.
Not a darn thing. So we're going to give you a 6x6 mat to go with it. So be sure and share this for your chance to win. That's how you're going to win this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about this quilt. It is so quick and easy. When we talk about a weekend quilt, this is it. So you are going to be able to cut those pieces. We've got our cubes, and it's going to go so easy for you. So the first thing you're always going to want to do before you get started is to download the pattern and read the instructions. I know this because I'm really bad at reading instructions, and sometimes it gets me into trouble. So you want to download it and read it. So we're going to cut those squares first because basically we've got just a couple of shapes involved here. The first thing we're going to do is cut those background squares that our kitties are going to go onto. So this is going to be using our shape 1 from our 12-inch cube. Let me grab it real quick. And this is so cute. Pam put like little sticky notes on everything for me and put like shape 1 so that I didn't get confused. Thank you, Pam.
Prepared.
She did. She did. Either that or she was really afraid of what I might do if left on my own. So back to the cube. So remember, our cubes are based on a 4-patch system. That's 2 across, 2 down. And because of this, you're going to have your shape number 1, which is always going to be a square no matter what cube it is. 4 of those number 1 shapes sewn together is going to make your finished size square or block in every cube. So if it's a 12-inch cube and you sew 4 number 1s together, you're going to make a 12-inch block. If it's a 6-inch cube and you sew 4 number 1s together, you're going to have a 6-inch block. So I know that can get confusing, so hopefully that's a good refresher. So we're going to cut our little background squares for our kitties first. Of course, we always want label towards us. We want our lengthwise grain parallel to our lengthwise blade as it goes through the cutter. And we can cut how many layers?
6.
6. I didn't tell her I was going to call on her. Actually, I should call on other people because even non-quilters in the studio at this point, like Mike and Justin, are probably starting to know those numbers. Actually, they're probably starting to think, now what should I make for Christmas presents? I should be making quilts for everyone I know. Okay, there's our 6 layers.
We have so many cat stories, Erica.
Oh, tell me a cat story,
Gosh.
Christina.
So Carol said that her cat showed up on her farm and just stayed. So basically it adopted them. We've got Sunny said that her cat was starving and abandoned in a box in front of a grocery store, but she's flourished wonderfully since she adopted her.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love rescue stories.
They're so
I'm so glad you
sweet.
rescued your kitty. We have more?
Oh gosh, we've got so many. Most of them, from what I'm seeing, are cats that kind of just showed up, which I love, because that
I
feels
love
like
that.
a very cat thing to do. They just kind of show up and claim you.
Very cat thing. All right, so I'm going to slide, not lift that. I'm going to pull away. Now, I just made, this is how fast you're going to make this quilt. I just made 6 of my background squares. So you see, I only have to do a couple of cuts on this number 1 shape. I'm going to have them done for the quilt. This is going to go so fast. So we've got those done. And what I would do is take all of these and I would go ahead and do all of my applique on them before I put them together. Because in case you have any little oopsies, you don't want to have to, back up.
Right.
So Christina is telling me I need to remind you to sign up for our launch party.
Yes.
We have such an exciting launch party planned for you. It's on Monday, November 2nd. I know we don't always do this on Monday. We're just trying to keep you on your toes. And we're going to release an exclusive die. Now, this die is something that we know you want. And if I talk about it anymore, I'm probably going to let the cat out of the bag. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But we have limited quantities, truly, of this available. So it is only going to be on AccuQuilt.com. So you do not want to miss this launch party.
Yes.
Because I know you're going to want this die, and I have to stop talking about it. Okay.
And definitely make sure you register because you can be eligible for the giveaways, for the special promos, for free patterns. So it's crucial that you register.
Right. You have to register because we want you to be eligible to win, and you want you to be eligible to win. So the link, you can go to AccuQuilt.com. You can go to the link to register in the comment section, or you can scan that QR code. So if you're watching on your computer, you can go ahead and scan it. It's going to take you straight to the registration page. Really slick. Technology, who knew? Okay, so we've got our number 1s cut. I'm just going to set that aside. We're going to cut our number 3s. Now this, if Pam and I had a favorite shape, it would be number 3 because number 3 is your core half square triangle. And this is where really the magic of AccuQuilt comes in. Now, I have pins. Mike put pins on the set because it was me, and he knew at some point if I didn't talk about pins or if Pam wasn't here and there were no pins, that something would be wrong in the quilting universe. So there we have pins. And you know what? I don't even need pins for what we're doing today, but that's okay. We've got them if we need them. All right, here's my sticky note from Pam. Thank you, Pam. Okay, so here's our half square triangles. This is really, to me, where the magic of using your AccuQuilt comes in. It's so simple and easy and perfect. You can see we've got these dog-eared quarters. We've taken those off. And no, no dogs were harmed, okay? I know people panic sometimes if they're not quilters and they hear that term. We've just cut off that little chunk so that we don't have to worry about it later on. It's going to save you even more time. So just like before, we're wanting our lengthwise grain parallel to the lengthwise blades as it goes through the cutter. We've got non-directional shapes, so we can fan fold. And we're just going to do this. Put our mat on because we need our mat. Now, mats are great. You want to use your mat, you want to turn it different directions, you want to use both sides of it, move it a little side to side, spread out those cuts just to make it last a little longer, because you got to have a mat, right?
Oh, Zoe has a good point. She says, come on, Erica, it's cruel to keep kitties in bags.
What?
Zoe says it's cruel to keep cats in bags. She wants to know what the new dye is.
Oh, I really want to. But if I told you now, then you wouldn't have to come on Monday, and then the team would be really upset with me. So, I can't do it. All right, I'm going to give this some love. Get rid of that static. I have noticed, okay, we had snow this week. I don't know about where you all are. We had snow this week. It is so dry. It is so staticky. So that static's going to build up. Don't worry about it. It just happens. Okay, get this out of here. I should throw it over my shoulder. Okay, so here's our half square triangles, and you can see that when I put these together, if I was going to sew these together, which I'm not, I'm going to do something else with them, they would line up perfectly, and I'd know right where to start sewing. It's just really kind of magical. Just another reason why you need this. Okay, so last we need quarter square triangles. So then I can show you how this block goes together. So quarter square triangles are shape number 4. And again, there's my pen, there's my sticky note. So quarter square triangles are really easy to remember which shape they are because there's 4 of them and they're shape 4. So that's how I remember. Okay, we've got some different colors. So Pam gave us some different colors. I'm going to use them. I'm going to lay out my different colors. I'm going to do these first. These are really pretty browns.
Yes, I love those fabrics. They're so appropriate for the time of year, it feels like.
They are perfect. Oh, hey, so I told you there was a story about why it's called Laura's Kitty Quilt.
Oh, yeah.
So the fabric in that quilt is from our friends at Andover Fabric, and it's from their Little House on the Prairie line.
Oh.
So if you are a fan of Little House on the Prairie, that's Laura Ingalls Wilder, so that's why we called it Laura's Kitty Quilt.
Oh, that's so clever.
And if you look really carefully at the quilt, which you can't because of where it's hanging up, but in a couple of cases, the fabric almost like self-fussy cut, and the designer told me it was by accident, but on a couple of them, the fabric makes it look like they have little collars on.
Oh, that's
like
so
a little
sweet.
curl collar. So cute. Okay, so let's cut our quarter square triangles now.
Ooh, while we're cutting, Kathy wants to know a little bit more about that lengthwise grain and how to cut.
That lengthwise grain is going to go parallel to your lengthwise blade as it goes through the cutter. And that's really important, especially with geometric shapes like this and when you've got crosswise blades. If you think about driving your car over some railroad tracks, that blade going through the mechanism here is like driving over a railroad track. Now, I love fabric. I know you love your fabric too. We want it to have a safe and secure ride and get your best cut ever. That's why we designed them that way. That and because Steve's an engineer and he told us to. Because he's smart. Okay, slide. There we go. I'm going to get this out of here. We are done cutting. Get this out of here. Okay. Here are my quarter square triangles. Now, I really only need 2 of them. Now, quarter square triangles can be a little tricky. You have to be careful that you put them together correctly because they're easy to get confused on. I like how those 2 look.
Oh, we've got a comment that says you could add rhinestones or ribbons to really make it look like collars.
Ooh, you could have glitzy kitties.
That'd be
That's
so
a great
cute.
idea. Yeah, you could bedazzle them. Okay, we get questions all the time here, and one of the biggest questions that we get, probably the most often, and customer experience gets it, and everybody on the team gets it, what AccuQuilt products and dyes should I buy first? So in Pam and my minds, you always need to start with a cube. Because the cube is going to, don't you think so, Christina?
I think so. It's got all the basic shapes. And
It's got everything you need. So
Definitely.
it's got 8 different geometric shapes that we've done the hard work. We've done the heavy lifting. We've designed them to work together to make over 72 different mix and match quilt block patterns. I mean, that's great. One box, 72 quilt blocks. So those patterns are all free to download at AccuQuilt.com. And then those cubes come in 5 different sizes. And we talked a little bit about it before, but the 5 sizes, we'll tell you in case you're not sure. We've got the 6-inch, the 8-inch, the 9-inch, the 10-inch, and the 12-inch.
yes.
So depending on, what size you choose is then always question number 2. So that's going to depend on what you like to work with. If you like making smaller blocks, I love making smaller blocks. I love my 6-inch cube. If you have got a lot of fabric, not that anybody would have a lot of fabric at home, but a 12-inch is probably a really good starting place. So you can work through that fabric because I don't know if you knew this, Christina, but what happens to your heart when you use up fabric you have at home?
Oh, it hurts.
It releases it to let you go buy more, okay? So it just opens up room in your family for more fabric. So you want to get those big cubes too and use those big pieces, okay? So lots of patterns use the 8, use a 9-inch cube. 9-inch cube involves math I don't like doing, so you may just decide we've got perfect promo. We've got 28% off for you. You probably need more than 1 cube in your life. So even if you're just getting started, you might want to get 2 that are going to play well together, like a 6 and a 12, or a 6 and an 8, or an 8 and a 12, or just take them all home.
All of them, every cube.
Just take them all home. Just take them all home. So Pam told me I had to give something away, so we're going to give away a free Go Calico cat die today to one lucky viewer who shares our video. And we're going to include the 6x6 mat as well, because you have to have the mat to have any magic happen. So be sure and share this so that you can qualify to win. We're going to pick that winner at the end of the show.
Yes.
So you have to stay with us too. Oh, reminder, they're telling me, remind them about the launch party. So excited. No, I'm not telling you what it is, but it is a really exciting die that you don't want to miss. We have limited quantities of this die. So it is only going to be available at AccuQuilt.com, and you do not want to miss this unveiling. This is going to be a surprise that is worth witnessing for yourself. You want to be there. We're going to have so much fun. We're so excited. So to register, and you want to register because if you register, then you can qualify to win. Christine's like waving flags at me. Then you're registered to win prizes.
The giveaways are my favorite part.
It's her favorite part. She loves giving you things. So let's make it easy for her. Register for the event. Show up and you can win stuff. We'll be releasing that exclusive die. So the link is in the comments section, or you can scan the QR code that's there on the side of the screen. I don't know. I guess it's this way. And it'll take you directly to the registration page. It's like magic. Okay, so perfect savings. I mentioned it again because it's worth mentioning again. Mentioning it again, my goodness. 28% off. Go cutters, go cubes, go dies through midnight Central Time. Use the code CATDAY in honor of National Cat Day. And there are some exclusions. So those new dies, the cube replacement dies, and the overstocks are going to be excluded, okay? All right, so I think it's time. Do we get to sew these together?
Yes,
okay.
I think we're ready.
So we're going to sew 2 of the quarter square triangles together. And like I mentioned, you have to pay attention to quarter square triangles because it can be a little sneaky on you. So we're going to go ahead. That's why I laid them out, because you can never go wrong by laying out your pieces. You can never go wrong by making a test block. And then we've got our point. That's going to show me where our 1/4-inch seam is. I am getting used to this machine's 1/4-inch foot. You know, every machine's a little different. And sometimes they switch it up and sew on different machines at home. We should have that for a question one week. How many sewing machines people have? Have we ever asked that?
I don't think so. How many do you have?
Next question.
Do you not want to answer?
No, I will answer. I've
Is it
got
a
some.
secret?
I'd have to stop and count. But currently, well, it's like members of the family. I, I have one that's usually my workhorse, but I'll tell you, I've been using my vintage featherweight lately
Oh.
because I got it. My mother got it for me a few years ago, and I hadn't been giving it a lot of love, and I started feeling guilty about it. And boy, those are cool machines. They're just, they're little and they're a workhorse. I tell you, they're a workhorse. So I sewed that 1/4 inch seam. Focus, Erica. And then I would press this open. So we're gonna grab. She left me the iron. I had to promise not to burn the bowl mat. Okay, so we're gonna give that a quick press. Now you could press this to the dark side. These are big pieces. If you want to, you can. More and more I find myself pressing everything open. I blame Lynn Gibney.
I press open too.
Do you?
Yeah. I just feel like it fits together a little better for me, and I worry
think
about
you're right.
nesting.
I really do. I get lazy and I don't want to always do it, but then I'm always happy when I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm doing is laying out now my square triangle. Although I should probably look, and I've got this backwards. So this is going to go up here. This is going to go here. There we go. So I'm going to put my half square on top of my 2/4 squares because 2/4 equals a half. If they had taught me geometry and math and all of this wonderful stuff in school with quilting and fabric, I would have done way better. I'm just saying.
That's true. I feel like I don't remember anything besides like quilting terms now.
I'm totally planning to teach my grandkids math using quilting.
Ooh, we have a question.
To me, it makes sense. Yes.
Kathy wants to know if you starch your fabric before you cut it.
You know what? I don't. I'm going to confess something to you. I am a lazy quilter. And I have found that with our dyes, if I'm using a good quality fabric, I don't think it's necessary. Now, if you do have some fabric that you're using that's a looser weave or it's a little bit thinner, then you might want to go ahead and do that. But it is very rare for me to do that.
Yeah.
I might press it if it's really, really wrinkled, but only if it's really, really wrinkled. Again, lazy quilter.
Oh, we have a question from Ginger.
Oh,
She
hello,
says,
Ginger.
when you use that little iron, how are you storing it on the side?
Oh, this is brilliant. And this came from one of our live viewers.
It did.
I'll show you.
It's brilliant.
In a mason jar. Who knew? And I think this came after we got a couple of little scorches. And we were filming one day, and I kept smelling something. I was burning the wool mat. So we use the mason jar. It works great. And we haven't burned anything since. The other thing that we did was burn one of our sewing machines. There's a little scorch mark down here. I don't know if you can see it by my mat. So the day after we did this, Pam brought in the jar.
Yep.
So
And it's worked perfectly.
yeah. So there we go. I sewed that half square onto my 2/4 square unit, and I've got it there. Done. Look how fast that was. No time. This would be what Pam would call chain piecing for days. Okay? Chain piecing for days. It's going to come together so fast and easy. Pam, we kind of joke that we're starting to share a brain. So, we know
I believe
all of
that.
each other's things we say.
I
And
believe
Christina,
it.
too. Questions for me before I move to kitties?
Goodness, we've got what stitch is around the cat on that quilt?
Ooh, so you've got all kinds of options. Now, this one is a blanket stitch.
Yep.
The sample behind me is a blanket stitch. Now, we have free downloadable embroidery for these shapes, and you have 3 stitches to choose from. So you have the blanket stitch, like you see behind me. You've also got the choice of a motif stitch, which kind of gives it that little furry look, or a nice clean satin stitch. So it's great. The downloadable free embroidery is amazing.
Yes,
It's
we've got
so
free
sick.
embroidery downloads. That pattern's free. We've got all kinds of free resources for
Kinds
people
of free
too.
stuff. We've got so much stuff for you. Okay, so we're going to cut some kitties. So here's our kitty die, our calico cat die, and this is one of our early dies. This is, as I like to say, pre-Erica, because it was here with AccuQuilt before I was. And you can cut up to 4 layers of pre-fused fabric, because your fusible is going to count as half a layer. So I've pre-fused these, and I want to show you just a little trick. Our cat is what we would call directional. He's got a tail to one side. Now, if you want your tail to be on the other side, you just turn your fabric right, upside down or right side up, and that's going to decide the direction your kitty's facing. So I'm going to cut one of each so I can show you. So there's one. The other one I'm going to put right side down, and I'm going to have a pair of cats looking at each other this way. We're going to send this through. And you know, if I had a second cat die, I'm using my Go Big. I could cut it. I could cut them both at once. They'd both fit. Okay.
We've got lots of questions.
I'm using quilting cotton today, but you can think outside the box. You can use other fabrics. We've got great, think about flannel, something cozy or minky or denim or wool. If you're a wool person, this would be really fun for you. Slide. Let's get our kitties off of here and show you. Okay. So now we've got our kitty, and I'm just going to flip it over, and you can see I made a pair of cats.
Ooh, Donna wants to know what kind of fusible stabilizer we use.
You know what? I'm using Heat and Bond, and we actually sell it on our website. Great question, and I think I was supposed to tell you that anyway, so thank you. So then I've got the fusible on there, so then to fuse it on, you're just going to pull it off. Now, this would be someplace where you might want to use, I got it started. If you have trouble getting it started like that, or if you have like stubby nails, you can use a pin. You can take that pin. Did you know this, Christina? Have you done this? You can kind of do a little scratch.
No, I wish I had
with
known
a pin.
that. I wish I had known that tip.
And look at that. So when you're having trouble, and you don't want to fray the edge of your fabric, so if you're having trouble with it, just scratch it with your pin.
Ah, that's
See?
genius.
You need pins. You need pin cushions in your lives. See? Okay. So those are our cats. Now, if you don't have an embroidery machine, you could use a stitch on your machine. You could also go in and just do a raw edge applique and just stitch inside the edge of it, or you could just go ahead, fuse them down, and then quilt over the top of them. So, Christina is reminding me to tell you that all of our AccuQuilt Live videos live on our Facebook page.
Yes, forever.
Forever. So you can always go back and see a project. So if you're trying to remember what Pam made last week, and by the way, if you missed last week's show, it was a great show. You should totally go back and watch it. It was all Halloween themed, and she made great projects. So you can always go back and watch those again. So, or if you're making it and you want that little tutorial, or you know what, if you're lonely in your sewing room, go ahead, pull it up, and you can have Pam there with you.
Then you're
and
just
Christina.
sewing with friends.
That's right. It's like sewing with friends in quarantine. Okay, so another question that we get a lot of the time is, how is AccuQuilt going to improve my quilting? And we've been talking about applique shapes. Look at this. Look at these little ears. You know what you would have to go through to cut this by yourself without the die? You would have to take your fusible and you would have to trace the shape, and you'd have to count on yourself tracing it right. Then you'd have to fuse it down. Then you'd have to take your little scissors, and you might need more than one pair, and you have to be sure you've got nice little sharp points, and cut that out by hand, and you probably wouldn't do it perfectly, and it certainly would have taken longer than the, 5 seconds that it took for that to go through my Go Big. So it's gonna, we talked a little bit about it with the piecing, but with your applique, anything you do, you're gonna get a perfect cut every time, and it's gonna save you so much time. You'll love it. So you can use that free downloadable embroidery. You can do one of those other ways to finish it off. Again, to finish this block off, we'd take one of these, we'd fuse a little kitty cat on it. Once we had those done, then I think I'd make all of my piece blocks first, go back and do all of my applique blocks, sew them together, put together my rows, ta-da! That's how you got it.
It's so easy, and it's so cute.
It's so cute. So today's Laura's Kitty Quilt kind of had a fall feel to it. It's got those browns and those earthy tones. But one of the things I love about this pattern is that you could use this as a base for so many other seasons or designs. So Pam being Pam had me all prepared to show you what she was talking about. So we've got some examples. Because what's coming up? Christmas. So you could take our gingerbread cookie die and cut out a little gingerbread cookie. You could use Christmas fabric. And then our new cookie decorations die. If you don't have this to go with your gingerbread cookie, you so want it, you could make it. You could have boys and girls. You could have little hearts, bows, buttons. Just have really fun dressing up all of your little gingerbread cookies. They could all be a little different.
Yes, I love that die so much.
It's so fun. I was so excited about that one. So there's the cookie. And now the cookie decorations is new. It wouldn't be 28% off, but your cookie would be.
Yes.
Get your cookie. It's that time. We had snow. Everybody's thinking Christmas. I want a peppermint mocha. I want to watch Christmas movies.
Yes, I want fuzzy slippers and like onesie pajamas.
Sweats.
All of it.
So here's a winter one. Handmade one with blues and white and snowflakes. We have great snowflake dies. Snowflakes are not easy to cut by hand.
Oh my goodness,
You
no.
do not want to cut this snowflake by hand, do you? It would take forever. You would think that it seemed like a really good idea until you got done with halfway through cutting out your first one. And at that point, your quilty head would say, okay, do I really want to make this quilt that badly? So this die, oh, be so easy. 28% off. Cat day, that's the code.
Deborah wants to know if you think the gingerbread bow would fit on the cat.
Oh, good idea. The heart would too, I bet.
It'd be so cute.
I
Little bow
should've cut
ties.
out pieces. Oh, that would have been fun.
Our viewers always have the best ideas. They're so creative.
They do. Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's a Valentine's one because all the holidays coming up, all these different ways. Look at this cute heart fabric. I think I need to go like shop in Pam's basement.
Truly, she's got such good fabrics.
Oh my gosh, she has gorgeous fabric. So look at this. This is off the Go Hearts die. It has 3 different sizes of hearts. It's a really useful die. And this is the largest one on here. That's great. It would be 28% off. So, and all of these dies that I've shown you, they all have the free downloadable embroidery. They'd be so slick. That would be so useful with the snowflake to have that free downloadable embroidery. Oh my goodness. So again, a reminder, our exclusive promo code for perfect savings today for that 28% off. It's on Go Cutters that go big, go, ready, set, go, a Go Me. All of our Go Cutters, our Go Cubes, our Go Cube Companions, our Go Dies through midnight Central Time. So use that code, it's CAT DAY, and there are some exclusions. So not the brand new dies, not the cube replacements, and not your overstocks, but all the others. There's so many to choose from.
Yes.
So many.
And I think it's just the perfect time to, like, if you haven't bought into the system yet, it's the perfect time.
Gosh,
like,
it's the perfect
28% is
time.
crazy.
28%. It does not get better than that.
You can
You
get
do
all
not
your-
need to wait.
Yes.
Just get it today.
You can get your holiday quilting
Just get it
started
today.
if you haven't started already. Like,
Projects.
I think it'd be so easy.
And if you're like me, you're sitting there working. I work at my dining room table.
Okay.
It is what I like to call AccuQuilt East. And I will be sitting there working with dies and blogs, and then I'll go, oh, I need to make something for my niece. Oh, so then like squirrel, shiny, there she goes, imagination. So I sat there and came up with a whole list of things that I need to make before
See?
Christmas. So this is going to make it possible. Okay, so reminder before I forget, sign up for our launch party. We have a launch party coming up on Monday. It is so exciting. You don't want to miss it, but you want to be registered so that you can win, right, Miss Christina?
So you can win prizes. You can get the email with the free patterns.
Oh,
And you get a
patterns.
reminder right before it starts so you don't forget.
Right,
which is
right. And
perfect.
that's the most important part to me. So I have to register if I'm not here. I have to do that so that I remember to. So we will be releasing an exclusive die. It is something you are going to love.
Oh, and it's
It is
gorgeous.
something our quilters have been asking for, and it's really exciting, but we have limited quantities, and we know there's going to be a high demand. This die is only going to be available on AccuQuilt.com because of that. So you don't want to miss it. Sign up. There's a link in the comments section, or Scan that little QR code. It's going to take you right to the registration page. Magical.
Yep, and to do that, you should just be able to open up the camera on your phone and just
Okay.
push and hold, and it'll pop right up on your phone.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
That's
I don't
how
know.
you do it.
I don't know how
'Cause
that
Christina's
technology
young
works.
enough to know these things. Okay. So I think we're at the point where we get to pick a winner, correct?
Yes, yes, we have our winner ready to go.
Okay. Very good.
All right, we ready?
Yes.
All right, our winner is Ann Beers.
And congratulations. You're going to get a kitty. You're going to get a mat.
Yes. We will reply to your comment and get it reached out to you for your address so we can ship it out to you. And
Christina takes care of all that stuff.
I do.
Isn't she good? Okay. So, Christina, do we have any other questions that I need to answer?
I don't think so. We got a bunch of them answered. If there's any leftovers, I'll go in and answer them
Okay,
after we're done
okay.
being live, and it'll be good to go.
Thank you for joining me today, and us, all of us here.
Yes, thank you again for stepping in, letting Pam continue her vacation.
You know, I love this vision of Pam on a beach with like a drink and a coconut with a little umbrella in the top and the straw and her little toes in the sand. So I hope she's really enjoying her time off. I
Yes.
love getting to come in and do this and see the whole team. So be sure you join us next week. Pam will be back.
Yes.
And she has got some really fun projects. Use it for Thanksgiving, making accessories for your table, making a turkey out of our new Go courtyard.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh, so cute. So, she also has some fun gift giving ideas.
Yes, definitely.
For bowl koozie. So if you're like me and you've been sitting there at your workspace, wherever that might be right now, thinking of all of these gifts that you need, see what she's got in mind for the bowl koozie, because it is a great gift item. And you're going to need, just, spoiler alert, you're going to need to go big to cut that bowl koozie.
Yes.
So get it today because it's 28% off.
Good
just saying.
point. That's a good point.
Okay, well, on behalf of our whole AccuQuilt Live team, thank you for joining us all today. We hope that you'll come back next week and join Pam on Wednesday. But before that, we hope you'll register and join Pam and I here on Monday, November 2nd for our next launch party. So that is it. Thanks so much for coming. Bye, everybody.